where shadows dance and whispers echo, where the veil between worlds thins, we dare to ask what's really out there. Join us as we venture into the spirit realm, armed with science, skepticism, and a healthy dose of curiosity. This is Paranormal Declassified, The Spirit Files, a podcast by Mount Washington Valley Spirit Paranormal Investigators. Here is your host, Eric Extreme.
The waves crash, carrying whispers from forgotten shores, and the unseen is poised to rise from the depths. The ocean is full of spirits, etched in saltwater and legend, forever bound to the tides, waiting to be acknowledged. Join me as we navigate the currents of cultural belief, explore the echoes that linger in maritime folklore, search for clues within the ancient stories of those who live by the sea, and listen for the faintest signals of lives shaped by the ocean's mysteries. My name is Eric Extreme. I am currently on board Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas, enjoying a 12-night cruise with my wife Kristen Extreme. As I transverse the Caribbean Sea, I will lead you as we decipher the ghostly tales of oceanic spirits. Here on Paranormal Declassified, The Spirit Files, a podcast by Mount Washington Valley Spirit Paranormal Investigators. The night does not begin with thunder. It begins with a whisper, a seed of doubt planted in fertile ground. The first voices of the ocean are not storm warnings, but the quiet teachings of the water itself. Lessons learned over the generations of absorbing stories from one's elders. For the ancient Polynesians and other Pacific navigators, the ocean held profound spiritual significance. Ancestral presence was often tied to the sea, and the ocean was viewed as a living entity. They genuinely used ocean swells patterns, stars, winds, birds, and clouds for wayfinding, and had deep verbal teachings about reading the sea. The ocean held their history, not just as a means of travel, but as a source of connection to ancestors and a reminder of the interconnectedness of life. These beliefs shaped their voyages and their understanding of the world around them. More than a physical realm, the ocean in Polynesian culture was a place where ancestral spirits could be felt, a connection to those who came before. It served as a pathway, both physical and spiritual, influencing their daily lives and their understanding of the cosmos. In many traditions, the spirits of the sea were seen as potential guides, accompanying navigators on long voyages. Calming storms and warding off dangers, ancestors were a potential presence. This deep connection, woven into daily life, transformed each journey into a passage through a realm influenced by ancestors. Oral history carried these beliefs. The role of ancestors continued to influence the people of the Pacific Islands. Spirits of the drowned from across the seas find themselves on the misty shores of Japan, where the mountains meet the ocean with an embrace, and the sea carried not only waves, but instead, those souls claimed by its depths, forever bound to its watery prison. Funayūrei, the ghosts of those claimed by the water, a deeply held belief, a source of both fear and fascination. Those who met their end in the unforgiving depths of the sea would find no peace, their spirits restless, forever searching for a way to return to the world of the living, returning to walk the shores at night, a chilling reminder of their tragic fate. Draped in the ocean's memories, forever haunted by the sounds of the waves, they appeared as they had in life, cold, wet, their voices silenced, their stories untold. Fishermen's wives spoke of seeing their husbands on the horizon, their figures emerging from the mist, rising from the water without sound, their presence undeniable, a vision that both comforted and terrified. In some accounts, offerings of rice or sake are placed near the shore as a way of honoring sea dead and hoping to appease restless spirits. The living understood their relationship with the ocean, with its unseen spirits, as one of mutual respect and fear, a delicate balance that had to be maintained, lest they incur the wrath of the sea. The ocean, a place where life and death blurred, where the veil between worlds thinned, allowing spirits to pass through with ease. Those who drowned, especially in violent storms, their bodies lost to the waves, wandering until appeased, their souls unable to find rest. Families conducted rituals, performing ancient ceremonies, hoping to prevent restless spirits from haunting them, from bringing misfortune upon their homes. The sea's role was dual life giving, providing sustenance and connection, yet a place of death, a watery grave where souls could not rest, forever trapped between worlds. When spirits of the drowned appeared, it was not only vengeance that drove them, but also a deep sense of longing, a yearning for what they had lost. In many sources, Funayūrei are portrayed as vengeful ghosts who can capsize boats or drag sailors under. In some places, families leave offerings at the shore for those lost at sea. The Funayūrei tied the living to the cynical nature of existence, a reminder that all things must eventually return to the source, to the ocean from which they came. The ocean, not just physical, but a living force where life, death, and all between existed in constant flux, a dance of creation and destruction, a never ending cycle of renewal. Spirits in the Sea of Judgment set course westward, to the shores of West Africa, where the sun beats down upon the sand and the rhythm of the drums echoes through the air. In some coastal traditions, the ocean is seen as a realm of judgment, a place where the scales of justice are balanced, where the deeds of the men were weighed. On the coasts of Ghana, Nigeria, and the Ivory Coast, some traditions describe sea or water spirits as intermediaries between the living and the divine, messengers of the gods. They may appear as serpents, fish, human-like figures, or other beings linked with the deep, guardians of justice, weighing the moral balance of the community, ensuring that the laws of the gods were upheld, that the wicked were punished, and the righteous were rewarded. The ocean held memories, storing the actions of individuals and villages, recording their triumphs and their transgressions, their acts of kindness and their moments of cruelty. Some stories describe the ocean as responding to human wrongdoing with storms or misfortune. Rituals appease these spirits, offerings thrown into the sea, not as tribute, a sign of submission or deep gratitude, but as apology, a plea for forgiveness, restoring balance, seeking to mend the broken bond between humanity and the divine. In many African coastal traditions, the ocean was a living presence, a force to be reckoned with, holding history and morality within its depths, a mirror reflecting the true nature of humanity. Sea spirits, protectors and enforcers, their power tied to the tides, to the ebb and flow of life itself. Not abstract figures, but active agents influencing the fate of communities, shaping their destinies, guiding them towards righteousness. The relationship involved both fear and respect, a recognition of the ocean's power and importance to their survival. Wrongs committed brought storms, floods, turbulent seas, a reminder that their action had consequences, that they could not escape the judgment of the sea. These forces were not to be feared, but understood as part of a greater balance, a cosmic order that had to be maintained, a delicate dance between humanity and the divine. Spirits in the water on the Pacific coast of North America, where rugged coastline meets the vast expanse of the ocean. In some coastal indigenous traditions, spirits connected with the sea can act as protectors or guides, guardians of the sea, rising not with malice, but with responsibility, a sense of duty that transcended death itself. Many indigenous cultures saw the water as a conduit, a pathway between worlds, especially for those who passed unexpectedly, their lives cut short by tragedy, appearing during emotional turmoil, when grief was at its peak, after tragic accidents, when the pain was almost unbearable. These spirits offered guidance, not fear, a source of comfort and strength in the face of unimaginable loss. Some stories describe spirits appearing to grieving families, offering comfort, explaining their departure was not their fault, that they had crossed over, that they were now in a better place, watching over those left behind, their love undiminished by death. Ceremonies honored these spirits, celebrating their lives, acknowledging their sacrifice, offerings ensuring their well-being, that they were at peace, that they were not forgotten. They returned to guide the living, to protect them from harm, to help them navigate the challenges of life. A vital part of the community, helping navigate death and loss, guiding families through dark waters, showing them the way forward, accepting the inevitable return to the ocean, the final journey that all spirits would eventually make, a cycle of life and death, a dance of creation and destruction. The silent knock on the hull in Southeast Asia, along the coast of Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, where the warm waters teem with life and the air is thick with humidity. Sea spirits communicated subtly, not through grand gestures or dramatic displays, but through quiet whispers and gentle nudges. Stories from trading vessels tell of soft knocks on the hull during quiet nights, a rhythmic tapping that seemed to come from nowhere, a mystery that intrigued and perplexed sailors. In such tales, the sounds become a sign that they were not alone, that something else is out there, watching over them. The spirits of the ocean, communicating in their way, using the ship itself as a conduit, sending messages from the depths. One modern type of sea story imagines knocks on the hull as messages from spirits. These messages were not always comforting, sometimes bringing news of danger, sometimes revealing hidden truths. Silence left sailors questioning, wondering what they had missed, what they had failed to understand, what warning had been ignored. Louder sounds urged action, a sign that they needed to act quickly, that time was running out, that they needed to change course. The ocean, sentient, aware of their thoughts and feelings, reached out, communicating in its way, using the only language it knew, a language of vibrations, of echoes, of subtle cues. In today's age, the Caribbean Sea stands out as the mecca of ghostly stories from the ocean. The spirits of the sea and the curse of the deep in the warm waters of the Caribbean, a place of rich cultural history and colonial influence, where the sun shines brightly and the music fills the air. The spirits of the sea are deeply intertwined with the lore of the region, a constant presence in the lives of those who call these islands home. For centuries, the sea has been both a life-giving resource and a source of danger, providing sustenance and connection, but also claiming lives and unleashing its fury upon the land. With its trade routes, hidden reefs, and treacherous currents, the Caribbean has always been a place where the sea is not just a body of water, but a force with a will of its own, a powerful entity that demands respect. In many Caribbean cultures, particularly among Afro-Caribbean communities, where the traditions of Africa blend with the influences of the New World, the ocean is seen as a domain of spirits, ancestors, and deities, a sacred realm where the veil between worlds is thin. In Jamaican folklore, for example, there is belief in the duppies, which are spirits of the dead that can rise from the water and make their way onto land, seeking to interact with the living, to influence their lives, to either help or harm. The ocean, in this context, is a bridge between worlds, a pathway for these spirits to travel back and forth, sometimes offering protection to those they left behind, guiding them through difficult times, but at other times causing harm, seeking revenge for past wrongs. The duppy is believed to be a restless spirit, unable to find peace, especially one that has met a violent or untimely death, their souls forever trapped between worlds. Many people in the Caribbean believe that the spirits of those who die at sea, whether in shipwrecks, hurricanes, or drowning, cannot find peace and will return as duppies, seeking to claim the living, to drag them down to the depths, to join them in their eternal torment. These spirits are often linked to specific locations in the sea, and some modern stories tie them to places, such as the Blue Hole in the Bahamas. One modern story tells of a lady of the sea, a figure believed to be the spirit of a woman who drowned long ago in the waters off of Jamaica. Her story passed down through the generations, a cautionary tale about the dangers of the sea. According to the legend, the woman was a beautiful mermaid-like figure who would appear to sailors, guiding them through storms or helping them navigate treacherous waters, a benevolent spirit offering her protection. But her spirit was also said to be vengeful, particularly towards those who dared to disrespect the ocean or take more than their fair share from it, unleashing her wrath upon those who dared to defy her. In Caribbean culture, offerings are made to the spirits of the sea in an attempt to avoid the wrath of the duppies or to receive their blessings for safe voyages, a way of appeasing these powerful entities, of ensuring their favor. This can include placing flowers, rum, or other symbolic items into the ocean as a gesture of respect and to appease the spirits. The people of Polynesia, and later those of New Zealand, have long believed in the deep spiritual connection between their ancestors and the sea, a bond that has shaped their culture, their traditions, and their very way of life. As seafaring cultures relying on the ocean for sustenance and transportation, the Polynesians relied on the ocean not just as a mean of survival, but as a living, breathing entity that carried the wisdom of their ancestors, a sacred realm where the past, present, and future were intertwined. In fact, in many traditions, the ocean was thought to be the pathway through which the spirits of the dead traveled, a bridge between worlds, a gateway to the afterlife. For the Maori of New Zealand, the sea was not just a body of water, but a living and spiritual being. Tangaroa, the god of the sea, who was a prominent deity in their pantheon, a powerful force to be reckoned with. But beyond Tangaroa, many Maori traditions hold that the spirits of their ancestors resided in the waters, watching over the living, offering guidance, protecting them from harm. Their presence felt in every wave, in every gust of wind. The connection between the land and sea was paramount in Maori cosmology, a fundamental aspect of their belief system. The ocean was seen as a link between the past, present, and future, a symbol of continuity, a reminder that they were part of something larger than themselves. The Maori belief in ancestral spirits, tupuna, is deeply tied to the waters, a connection that is both profound and enduring. It is believed that the spirits of ancestors return from the sea to visit their descendants, to offer their blessings, to provide guidance, and they often do so through the form of whales, dolphins, or even the rising mists over the water. Their presence felt in the natural world, a sign that they are still watching over them. These ancestral visits these ancestral visits were not only seen as a blessing, but also a sign of warning or guidance, a way of communicating important messages, of steering them away from danger. The Maori are known for their deep respect of the sea and its ability to guide and judge them, a recognition of its power, a testament to their wisdom. One of the most famous myths involving the ocean spirits in Maori culture is that of Maui, a demigod who used the ocean's waters to catch fish and perform miraculous feats, a legendary figure whose exploits are still celebrated today. In one myth, Maui fishes up the North Island of New Zealand, pulling it from the depths of the sea with a magical hook, a testament to his power, a symbol of the connection between the Maori and the land. The connection between the Maori and the sea is foundational to their spiritual practices, a fundamental aspect of their belief system. And the ocean is a key part of their beliefs in the balance between the living and the dead, a cycle of life and death, a dance of creation and destruction. Spirits beneath the waves off the coast of Portugal in the Atlantic Ocean lies the Azores, an archipelago steeped in myth and maritime lore, a place of rugged beauty and ancient traditions. The Azores, with their rugged cliffs rising dramatically from the sea, deep blue waters teeming with life, and mist-covered mountains shrouded in mystery, are rich in stories of spirits rising from the depths, their presence felt in the very air. The sea has always been both a life-giving and a life-taking force in the lives of the islanders, providing sustenance and connection, but also claiming lives and unleashing its fury upon the land. Azorean legends tell of sea spirits, mysterious entities that haunt the waters around the islands, which are believed to emerge from the ocean's depths, their forms shimmering in the moonlight. These spirits are said to be the souls of sailors who perished at sea, their lives cut short by tragedy, forever wandering the waters in search of redemption or rest, unable to find peace. In some island stories, drowned sailors return as uncanny sea beings. In others, the spirits appear in human form, their faces pale and gaunt, coming ashore under the cover of night to offer warnings or blessings to the living, their intentions unclear. Some local stories say that when a ship sinks or a sailor dies at sea, the spirit does not disappear, but is absorbed by the ocean and becomes one of these sea spirits, forever bound to its watery embrace. Over time, these spirits become a part of the sea, their presence felt in the waves, in the currents, in the very essence of the ocean. And sailors who are respectful of the ocean and its spirits will avoid the wrath of these beings, ensuring their safe passage. On certain nights, when the moon is full and the stars are bright, it's said that the waves themselves take on an eerie glow, shimmering with an ethereal light, and the sound of distant drums can be heard on the breeze, carried across the water, signaling the return of the sea spirits, a reminder that they are always watching. Bicho Papeo is usually described in Portuguese folklore as a child, scaring figure rather than a sea spirit. The spirits of the cold waters of the Baltic Sea, far to the north, where the days are short and the nights are long. The coastal waters of Norway carry their own set of legends, a unique kind of mystery shaped by the harsh climate and turbulent history, known for its cold waters and chill to the bone, thick fog, and long winters when the sun barely rises above the horizon. This sea has long been a place where spirits are believed to dwell, their presence felt in the icy winds, heard in the crashing waves. In Scandinavian folklore, passed down through generations of sailors and fishermen, the dragon is a legendary sea ghost who haunts the waters off the coast of Norway, a terrifying figure that strikes fear into the hearts of those who dare to venture out into the sea. The dragon is said to be the spirit of a drowned sailor, their soul unable to find rest, often appearing as a dark figure with glowing eyes, their gaze piercing, their presence ominous, sailing on a boat made of mist, a spectral vessel that glides silently across the water. The dragon is often seen as an omen of doom, a harbinger of tragedy, appearing before a shipwreck or storm, a sign that death is near. In some versions of the legend, the dragon calls to sailors, their voice a haunting melody, luring them into treacherous waters, where they are either drowned, dragged down to the depths, or led to their own destruction, their fate sealed by the sea. This spirit is a reminder of the dangers of the sea, especially in the cold, unforgiving waters of the north, where survival is a constant struggle. A global view of oceanic spirits, from the warm tropical waters of the Pacific to the icy, unforgiving seas of the north. The ocean has often been seen as a spiritual realm, a place where the boundaries between life and death blur, where the veil between worlds thins, allowing spirits to pass through with ease. Across cultures and continents, from the shores of Africa to the islands of Polynesia, the sea is a home to spirits, both benevolent and vengeful, who interact with the living in myriad ways, shaping their lives, influencing their destinies. Some spirits offer guidance, protecting them from harm, leading them towards prosperity. Some demand respect, requiring offerings and rituals, while others serve as warnings to those who might dare to traverse the waters without reverence, reminding them of the sea's power. In Polynesia, the spirits of ancestors guide navigators across vast distances of open water, the presence felt in the stars, in the waves, and the very essence of the sea. In Japan, the spirits of the drowned return to walk the shores, a chilling reminder of their tragic fate. And in the Caribbean, the spirits of the sea rise from the depths, seeking peace or offering protection, their power felt in the storms, in the currents, in the very rhythm of the ocean. The ocean is never just water, a simple expanse of liquid. It is a living, breathing entity, holding memories, carrying spirits, and connecting the past with the present, a testament to the enduring power of belief. As we look across these cultures and their beliefs, we see a common thread, a shared understanding of the ocean's power, a recognition of its importance to human life. The ocean is not just a boundary separating landmasses, but a bridge connecting people, linking cultures, uniting humanity. It connects the living with the dead, allowing spirits to pass through, to interact with the world of the living, the seen with the unseen, the physical with the spiritual, a reminder that there is more to this world than meets the eye. These spirits, whether they are ancestors, gods, or the restless dead, remind us of the deep and mysterious power of the ocean and the importance of respecting its forces, of honoring its traditions, of acknowledging its presence in our lives. In the living ocean, each one of these traditions represents not just folklore or myth, stories passed down through generations, but an active belief system that held true across centuries, shaping the lives of those who live by the sea. For these cultures, the ocean was not a distant and silent force, a mere backdrop to their lives, but an active, engaged participant in their lives, a constant presence that influenced their decisions, shaped their beliefs, and guided their actions. These spirits that moved through the waters were not abstract forces of the dead, but vivid, present voices that shaped the human experience, offering guidance, providing protection, and reminding them of their interconnectedness of all things. And as we move through our own interactions with the ocean, as we sail the seas of modernity, relying on technology and science, these ancient beliefs remind us that the boundaries between the living and the dead, between the reality and the unseen, are not as sharp as we would like to think. that there is still mystery in the world, that there are still forces beyond our understanding. There are still whispers in the water, waiting for those who will listen, for those who are willing to open their hearts and minds to the possibility of the unseen. There are still spirits waiting to rise from the waves, ready to share their wisdom, to offer their guidance, to remind us of our connection to the past. The ocean is never just water, a simple chemical compound. It is a living, breathing entity, holding the memories of those who have crossed it, the stories of those who have drowned, and the lessons of those who still sail its endless horizons, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. The tide recedes, leaving behind whispers and echoes of the spirit realm. But the mysteries of the deep continue to beckon, reminding us of the power of belief and the enduring allure of the unknown. Don't be swept away by the currents of superstition. Navigate with the compass of reason. Remember, trust no spirit of the sea until the depths of evidence have been explored. I want to believe that the ocean holds more than just meets the eye. But science must be your guiding star, for the truth is out there, submerged just beneath the fathomless depths. Recording from Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas, Transversing the Caribbean, this has been Eric Extreme with Paranormal Declassified, The Spirit Files, from Mount Washington Valley's Spirit Paranormal Investigators. Until our frequencies sync again, stay skeptical.
The echoes of the spirits may soften, but the mysteries we've touched upon in Paranormal Declassified, The Spirit Files, are but a breath in the ghostly expanse. The Mount Washington Valley Spirit Paranormal Investigators will continue their journey into the spirit realm, seeking to part the veils and glimpse the hidden wonders beyond. When the ethereal plane whispers more of its secrets, we will unlock the shadows of the beyond. The afterlife awaits us there.